Welcome back to Limestone County Sports. This is not yet our football podcast that you may have listened to last year. We are doing some preseason coaches interviews over the last few weeks. You may have listened or watched some of those, and we are interviewing coaches who are not necessarily new to Limestone County or our area, but are doing new things, new sports, new coaching positions, and that's what we have on store for today. I'm your host, Greg Wise. Our usual co-host, Jay Vassar, will be in a few weeks when we start rolling with some football, but today got another new face, not new face to Limestone County, but new face to girls head basketball coach. Coach Donnie Story is in the show today. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
Had a lot of ball going on this summer?
We have. We've been pretty busy.
Yeah. Now, you guys are filled in middle school JV varsity?
Absolutely, yeah.
And had all of them playing games this summer?
We did. Our middle school and JV teams, I think they played 8 games, and our varsity played 10.
Yeah.
And then we had an inter-squad game one night, which was really fun.
Yeah. How'd that go?
It went great.
Yeah. Did you split them up even?
We did. We divided our entire program up into 2 teams.
Yeah.
And then I kind of scripted who played when.
Yeah.
And let some of our assistants coach it. And I just kind of set the scores table and
yeah,
enjoyed myself. And our parents just loved it. They thought it was great.
That sounds awesome, man.
Yeah.
Hey, that's something that, now, did you guys charge it admission or anything?
No, we didn't.
Just free?
It was free. We did have a small concession stand.
Yeah.
We did have a little donation box.
Well, I was going to say, man, that sounds like something that could generate a little income
it did.
for your program.
We got a little bit, a little donation from a few people, so it worked out pretty good.
Good. Coach Story has, we talked a little bit before we started recording here. You are very familiar with Limestone County.
Yes.
Born and raised.
Wasn't born here, but I've been raised here for sure.
Where was you born at?
I was born in Columbia, South Carolina, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've been here since.
So that you were born in South Carolina, they just shipped you to Limestone County after that?
My mom's from North Carolina.
Okay.
My dad is from Hartsville, but he was in the Army, and then we moved back. I don't know. I was probably 3. I've been in Limestone County since I was 4 or 5. Probably.
So pretty much as long as you can remember, you've been in Limestone
absolutely.
County. So grew up over in the East Limestone area?
Grew up in East Limestone. Graduated there in 1987.
87 graduate of East Limestone High School. That was back when East Limestone might have been 3A then?
Oh.
Now, there was probably only 6 classes in, so much smaller. Well, all of our schools in the whole county was much smaller then.
A lot of our schools then were close to the same size.
Well, that's what me and a couple of guys was talking about in the last couple of weeks was back in the day when we played everybody in the county in almost every sport because everybody was almost the same size. There may have been 1 or 2 schools that were a class lower, but almost everybody in the county was pretty close.
A lot of them were 3A.
Yeah. And so competition levels were pretty even across the board in every sport.
Yes.
So you grew up over in East Limestone, graduated from East Limestone in 89. 87. Where'd you go after East Limestone?
So I left East Limestone and I went to the University of Alabama.
Road Tide.
To be a student athletic trainer with the football team.
Yeah. No, so you were you pursuing that as a profession or kind of doing that on the side while you pursued a degree? At
the time, I played baseball and basketball in high school. I didn't play my senior year of basketball because I thought I'd have a better chance to go and become a trainer.
Yeah.
And so I was like manager trainer with the basketball team. Plus, we were really, really good back then, and I probably wasn't going to play very much.
Yeah.
But when I left, I had that in my mind that I might want to be a trainer. It didn't take me long to see how much time our head trainer put in.
Yeah.
And I realized that I still had that itch. I thought I might want to coach and teach, and so it didn't take me but about a year to decide that's what I was going to do. So
yeah,
but I stayed on for 5 years, and it was such an enjoyment.
In Tuscaloosa for 5 years as a trainer for football.
Football only. I am one of 3 guys that were the last football trainers that only did football. Okay,
so now we've got a pretty good talking subject here. Yep. Alabama football in the late 80s, early 90s. And so you were there, you said already, for the Curry years.
I was there for all 3 of Coach Curry's tenure, and then the first 2 for Stallings.
Okay, and like you've already told me, you left 1 year early before the '92 championship team.
Yes,
But so you got to see some of them dudes though.
Oh yeah, I worked with the defensive line.
Well, dude, that's where it was at in the early '90s.
John Copeland, Eric Curry, real good friends of mine. Derek Thomas was there when I was there. He's one of the best individuals.
You're throwing out big names now, bro.
Kevin Turner, who passed away a few years ago with Lou Gehrig's disease. He was a real good friend of mine.
Yeah.
There was a lot of guys that I still. There's a lot of guys now I still talk to.
Well, that was going to be my next question, and maybe I'm prodding here. Is there any of these guys you maybe still text every once in a while?
I talked to George Thornton last week. He played defensive line. I always called him my big brother. And he had sent me another guy that coaches. That played there. His name's Craig Harris. He owns a restaurant in Panama City.
Oh, okay.
And so I was.
What's the name of the restaurant?
Sandbar.
I'm going to Panama City in 2 days.
Sandbar.
Okay.
It's not well known, but
okay. But if I drop your name,
it's there. Yes.
Okay.
But anyway,
I remember that.
George had been in the week before and sent me a picture of him and Craig. So when I went last week, I got to send Big George a picture.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yep.
And now you said obviously you missed that '92 championship season by 1. You left the year before that, but you do got some rings, though, right?
I have an '89 SEC championship ring, and then I have my A club ring, which my mom's always said that was the only reason I went to college.
Yeah,
it wasn't a degree. She said he went for the ring.
Yeah. Now, if our maybe some of our tens of tens, I say that every week. Our tens of tens of listeners are listening. What's an A club ring?
So it just signifies that you were a letterman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just it's a fairly simple ring. Got a nice little white A on top of it.
Yeah.
Mine's kind of getting some wear on it, so I'm fixing to send it off and get it refurbished.
Awesome.
Yep.
Do you get to go back to do like reunions or like SEC championship team?
We had
they get honored. Do you get to be a part of those things?
I do. I went back for our '89 SEC championship reunion. I guess that was our 25th. I can't do the math.
That'd been 14.
Yeah, I was probably about right. Coach Saban was there. Got to meet Coach Saban at our little reception, and we get that on the field. You know how if you've been to a game and you've been in one of those reunions, they have the whole team lined up, and you get to wave. And they include us.
That's pretty big deal. Good. That's pretty big deal.
Yeah, and I usually get the invite to go back to the scrimmage, the last scrimmage, usually before the season starts, but I haven't been in a few years.
Yeah. Now you got tickets down there for anything?
I do. Yeah.
You got season tickets?
I keep season tickets.
What section are? Oh, you ain't got to tell me what section. What area of the stadium?
I'm in the upper deck end zone, but I'm on like the second row.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
I really like them. Mm-hmm. I like the.
I've had season tickets since Saban's second year. So now 18, 19 years. Right. I'm on lower level 40-yard line. They ain't cheap.
No, I'd imagine.
Yeah, they're not. I've had to upgrade. Well, I ended up.
I'm not going to ask you your donation.
Yeah, well, I was in the end zone to start with, and those were about the cheapest Pride donation you could get. Right. Well, they ended up moving the recruits from around the 40-yard line to the end zone, so they were taking my seats. This has probably been another 10 years ago, and they were like, okay, you can move up in the corner like under the Jumbotron, or you can pay more money and have their old seats on the 40 lower level. And I was like, I'm never going to have this opportunity again to get 40-yard line lower level tickets, so I will bite the bullet and pay the fee. And I've always been able to get my money back out of those tickets because they're such good viewing tickets. But nonetheless, you got to pay a pretty good penny for them up front.
I'm glad I don't have to pay that.
Yeah. You probably get grandfather. They just give you free tickets.
Well, we have a little small A club fee that we pay.
That's awesome.
And as long as we keep ordering our tickets every year, then we get them.
Yeah. I would never. You need to put those in your will.
Yeah. I don't think I can do that. That's the only thing.
Well, just tell your relatives. Don't tell anybody if I die.
That's right. Just keep ordering them.
I think my oldest daughter, she's 28, big Bama fan. She's kind of suggested some of the same things for our tickets. Dad, don't ever let go of those tickets. Anyway, moving on, Coach, you get done with college and you start to pursue a education coaching career. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Where'd you go straight out of college? First gig.
So I came home to East Limestone. I actually had came to Athens State to be was kind of planning on being a student assistant with Coach Merle, but it ended up not working out. And of course, I grew up around Coach Drake, who's a legend.
Yep.
And even though I didn't play a lot, I paid attention.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach Drake was, he said, "Hey, why don't you just come be a volunteer with us?" And so I was still working on some college work at Athens State and getting my teaching certificate and things like that. And then once I was fully certified, my first teaching job and coaching job was at Cedar Ridge Middle School in Decatur.
Cedar Ridge, I'm not familiar with Cedar Ridge.
So they feed Austin.
Okay.
And it was a fairly new school at the time. I coached there for 2 years, and then an opening came at East Limestone, and I went back home.
Yeah.
And I was an assistant there for several years. Became the head basketball coach there in 2004.
Girls?
Boys. Yeah, I was back then we played junior high, not necessarily middle school. And so I was the junior high coach for 5 years.
Yeah.
Won four county tournaments.
Sweet.
And then I became the head coach and did that for about 3 years. We started having kids.
Yeah.
And my wife and I we chose to get out. She was a cheerleader coach at the time. And so we just decided to raise
busy.
kids.
Yeah.
And so I was out of coaching for a long time and then taught East Limestone and Creekside together for about 19 years.
Yep.
And then I actually got out of teaching for 4 years and ended up back at Elkmont.
When you were out of teaching, were you just kind of retired or doing anything else?
Well, my wife was doing a business of her own, and I was helping her. The business was going great, and
Gotcha.
So I basically helped her work for her, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Well, we work for our wives.
And I fished a lot.
Yeah,
so.
we work for our wives anywhere.
Yeah,
all the time.
we do.
You fished a lot.
Fished
You
a
said
lot.
you were coaching some fishing teams at East Limestone, right?
So my kids got old enough. One of them chose to bowl.
Yeah.
To bowl at East Limestone, and the other one chose to fish.
Yeah.
And so I became the fishing coach at East Limestone.
And had a pretty good run there.
We had a really good run. We won a state championship on the team side with bass.
Mm-hmm.
And then my oldest son won a state championship in bowling.
So both of your sons have state championship rings and blue maps.
That is correct.
And one in fishing and one in bowling.
Yep.
That's pretty fun, man.
Yep, it's pretty cool. We have a picture of all three of us with our state championship rings.
Well, do you ever
special.
brag to them that you've got two and they've only got one apiece?
Well, no, because I don't think they even care as much.
They don't.
But they're just glad it happened when it happened, and they're moving on now. So.
Yeah. Quick question on fishing. Winning a state championship in fishing, does that look very similar to what we would see on TV in a bass tournament?
For us, it did. I mean, we were, when we won, it was a team competition where you had 3 different boats and combined weight, and it came down to the last day, the last couple of anglers to weigh in, and they announced it. When they announced it, we had no idea if it was going to be us or the other team. Mm-hmm. And then they announced that we won. Everybody just went crazy. Yeah.
Who'd you beat?
I want to say it was Huntsville, but I'd have to think about it.
Yeah. Now, is that like all classifications combined?
Then it was, yes.
Man, that's pretty big feat.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Fishing is usually one of the organizations I think now has an upper and a lower, but it's not really based on student body. It's based on how many members you have in your club. But that was bass, and it was there were no classifications. It's everybody.
Yeah. Does East still got a fishing team?
They do, and they've actually won another state championship
since then.
Since I left coaching them. So yeah.
And I know their bowling team's been pretty good.
Their bowling team has been really, really successful. My son Bryant was on the state championship team his junior year. They got beat in the finals by Vestavia.
Pretty big school.
The year before, and then his senior year, they made it to the state tournament, got put out the first round.
Pretty good run there.
Pretty good run. And they've still had some pretty good teams since, too.
Yeah. I seen Ardmore had an interest meeting for fishing this past Sunday. I think they're trying to crank up a fishing program there.
someone actually
Reached
Mr.
out.
Ball actually contacted me
Yeah, he couldn't.
a couple months ago. Was just kind of asking me some questions,
Okay.
'cause he's trying to learn.
Yeah, he couldn't recruit you. He didn't
No.
throw. He didn't throw enough money at you.
He knew I knew a little bit about it, so
Yeah,
he
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to know. So
Yeah, my son's interested in it. I think. That's a spring sport, I assume.
it's actually a year-round sport. I mean,
Okay.
they will actually start this fall
Yeah,
and finish up right at about the time school gets out, or maybe even a week or two after school.
yeah. Well, he's flirting around with golf too, so who knows? But anyway, maybe they can get that rolling there. Moving on from some personal stuff, Coach. You've already mentioned you're up at Elkmont now. Just personal story. I seen you on the sideline about 2 years ago in a middle school girls tournament. My daughter obviously plays at Elkmont. She's 9th grader now, but this would have been her 7th grade year, so it would have been 2 years ago. I think we were about a 4 seed. You guys were maybe a 3. I'm not sure. It ended up, I think, y'all and West in the final. And just honesty, transparency, I didn't think you had the better team, but y'all beat them. And they had a fantastic team, loaded team.
Yep.
If I start throwing names out there, everybody's going to know who we're talking about, who was on that West middle school team. And y'all beat them, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, dang.
We were actually the 4 seed.
Yes. Well, yes.
Clements was the 1 seed.
Yeah, West was the 2.
And so that was that year. We I took over the team really like a week before the first game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And we just kept getting better and better, and they played really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And Clements was the 1 seed.
Yes.
We had took them to the wire the week before, the first time they blowed us out, and they had took us to the wire the week before the county tournament. And then it snowed, if you don't remember.
Yep.
That was the year it snowed the whole tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And so we played part of it at East. They're
just trying to get them in.
We played a few games at Elkmont. I think they played a couple games at Ardmore.
Yep.
But we played Clements at Elkmont and beat them in the overtime.
Yep.
They were the 1 seed. Then we come back and play West in the finals. And I don't know if I've had a team play that hard.
Yeah. I was very surprised. I wasn't there, but
they just got after it.
West beat us all year long in county middle school. West is far and above everybody, and West beat us, get to the final, and then I seen y'all beat Clements. And I was like, wow, man, they're getting after it. And then they turned around and beat West, and I was like, and then I think the next year or at the end of that year, you got kind of promoted, I guess you would say.
I did.
And took over the varsity program. And I thought to myself, well, I don't know who would be any better.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And so this past season was year number 1.
Year number
correct?
1. Yep.
How'd that go?
So we ended up 10-20. I felt like we played a really tough schedule.
You did.
We were in a lot of games. We lost some games early in the year that we probably should have won, and I think we could have won later in the year.
Yeah.
As the year went on, I think we won the ones that we were supposed to, and the ones we weren't supposed to, we lost. And and we lost, a couple. Ardmore beat us 2. We were down 20.
Yeah.
At one time, and they beat us 2. We go to West, and we played good the first time over there, and then, we kept it close, and they beat us a couple times. Clements, we had some good games. They were really good. I felt like Clements was really good. They ended up showing what I thought at the county tournament by coming back winning the thing.
Yeah.
We played them for about 3 quarters, just back and forth, and then they just pulled away. I felt like we just lacked a little depth to play with some of those teams, and we're really, really young.
Yeah, well, that was kind of my next go-to. I think some of those younger girls you got coming up,
We started
seeing them playing in middle school. You maybe 1-2 years away.
Most of that team is what I'm coaching now. We have 3 players that were left over that weren't on that team that we'll have this year.
Right. Now, was you guys? How'd you do in the area?
So we wound up runner-up to Whitesburg Christian.
Yeah.
And then in the area tournament, they beat us in 3 overtimes.
Wow. And so you end up runner-up in the tournament, which means you go the first round.
We traveled to Sylvania.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Justin Taylor at the volleyball game a while ago. We was talking about it. So Sylvania, we had it I think we were down 8, maybe, and one of our leading scorers fouled out about midway through the fourth. We ended up losing by about 14.
Mm-hmm. Well, made it the first round of the playoffs.
And then their 2 games at Jacksonville were about 30-point blowouts.
Sylvania's.
Yep.
Yeah. So, first
they went to the Final Four, of course. So.
Yeah. How many seniors did you have last year?
And we had 3.
Yeah. How many you got this year?
1.
Okay. And so, anyway, first year, you make it to the first round of the playoffs. Is that kind of the expectation? Obviously, I would think every coach would say that. Yeah, that's the expectation.
I mean, I thought
I
going
know you're
in,
young.
we have a decent area that we felt like we could compete with. We moved areas, which was kind of a blessing.
Last year was the first year of that new area. Who's in that area?
So it's Whitesburg Christian, and they'll be really stout again this year.
Yeah.
And then Ashbury and Brindley Mountain. And the Alabama School of Technology.
Yeah. Pretty good area for you.
Yeah, and I hear they're getting better.
Yeah, now you just said that. So that's 5 teams.
5-team area.
That's a big area, though.
It is.
And so you've got to put a couple teams out of that area tournament to be 1 or 2.
That's right.
To get to the playoffs. So pretty good feat in your first year, Coach.
Well, we're trying. We work hard. That's number one. Our kids are working really hard, and they keep me busy.
That's scrappy.
I'm up there all the time.
Yeah. Well, most good coaches are.
Yep. So I'll be. In fact, we got a 4:30 small group today.
Nice.
So
awesome. Your coaching style, obviously, especially at smaller school, coach has to coach everything or know everything. But if you had to call it one way or the other, would you say your coaching style is more overly offensive or defensive?
I'm a defensive-minded person by heart. I call myself a gym rat, but also, I study the game all the time. My wife is probably sick of listening to YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I just love it, you know. So, and really, this go around, I probably love it more than I did when I was 25, and I thought that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I try to learn every day. I tell my kids when we leave at the end of the spring, I said, I need you to work to get better. Mm-hmm. But I'm promising you I'm going to work to get better. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be better when I get back, and I expect that out of you. But I am a defensive-minded person. I like to play fast. We play a lot of full court defense when we can.
Yeah, you got to have some girls to do that.
And we do.
Got to have numbers.
And you got to have kids that are willing to work really hard to get it. You don't have to be the fastest team.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah.
But you have to make them believe in it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just my style, I guess. And if I believe in it, they're going to believe in it.
It seems to be working so far, Coach.
So I hope so.
Yeah. Well, now I know I kind of asked you when we started, but what's the summer look like?
So we took a few days off after graduation, and we hopped in and we had about 4 days of practice, and then we took the next 2 weeks to play our summer games. Mm-hmm. And then I gave them, as far as team, I gave them the rest of June off. I was gone for a week as well, but I mentioned small group a while ago. We get together and we have little small groups that will meet, and they'll call me, or I'll send it out on our remind and tell them when I'm available, and they'll call me and say, I can come at this time or this time. And we just do groups of 4 to 6 kids at a time, and they'll come in and shoot, or we'll work on ball handling, and just it's not a team activity. It's more individual.
Yeah.
But, we have a lot of kids that play multiple sports, which you're going to have at a school, and I love it. And like I said, I just got through watching volleyball, and when we hang up here, I'm going right back to watch them play again. But I also have a core group that only plays basketball, and when they're not playing volleyball or softball, then they're in the gym. Mm-hmm. And those girls that don't play but one sport, they're in there a lot. So I appreciate their hard work.
Yeah. I think I asked this Coach Wales. He's a new girls coach up there at Ardmore. I think I asked him about it last week. What do you benefit in these summer play days? I know coaches who are kind of not doing the play days or the games and just doing kind of some individuals and workouts and small groups like you've mentioned. In a sport that is kind of in the middle, you softball and baseball just ended. I really don't understand why they would go back to playing, games a couple weeks later. Or even the fall sports. I would understand why we're jumping in on volleyball and football because that's the next sport up. But for basketball, you haven't played in 3 or 4 months, and you're not going to play for another 3 or 4 months, or be in season anyway. What's the benefits of those things during the summer? And
last year, it being my first year, it was a huge benefit because there was things that I wanted to put in that maybe Coach Wallace, who was before me, didn't do, or – maybe there's some things that I do completely different, or even the offensive defense might be, I'm sure Coach Wells, the same thing. They got to get used to his style. Now it's year 2. The benefit to me is the game. It's the game of basketball, and I tell these kids all the time, like, it is a game to me that you just can't put it over there in a corner and leave it alone.
Yeah.
If you're going to be successful, you have to pick up the ball every once in a while and get some shots up, or you need to be in the driveway, doing dribbling drills or whatever it is you can do. It's a hard game to just sit down for 6 months and think you're going to come back and just be great at it.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's a benefit of being in the gym. Plus, it's the only thing I coach, so I want to be there.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was going to be one of my next questions. Do you help coach any other sports?
Well, I've coached just about everything in my career.
Yeah.
But now I'm at that point where this is all I coach. Yeah. And
good.
And that's all I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
you can stay focused on that,
and
too.
I can stay focused on it. And especially, just like the summer, I'm available for them whenever.
Right.
Till next week.
Yeah.
So.
Good. School will be starting here pretty quickly, and then got all kinds of other things moving after that. Let's see, you kind of mentioned that already. What's one golden nugget, like a coaching quote, that you either share yourself to players you've heard from maybe one of your coaches or a mentor of yours through the years that you've never forgotten, and it's just meant a lot to you as far as coaching goes?
Well, I got 2 really, I guess. Coach Drake, we always broke the huddle, all for one and one for all.
Mm-hmm.
And that basically means playing together.
Yeah.
We're all here together to do this as one. Mm-hmm. We're not separate pieces, or we're here to do one thing, and we're all going to do it together.
Sport.
Team. And he instilled that in us growing up, and I've been around some great coaches in my life. I've been very fortunate in that.
Yeah.
In high school, my junior high coach Jeff Taylor, I still call him all the time. He was a head coach at Clements at one time, and it was at Madison Academy. I played baseball and basketball for Dennis Black, and of course Coach Drake and Darrell Adams. There's a lot of guys from Limestone County I've been around. And then, my dad umpired for ages, and so he was really good friends with Billy Owens and Henry White and Bill White. So I've been around all those guys my entire life, So there's been a lot of things like that I've taken. I'm also a huge North Carolina fan outside of being an Alabama alumnus, and so we use the motto, play hard, play smart, and play together.
Yeah.
And we had that on the back of one of our T-shirts, and so we really stress playing together.
Yeah.
And being together. We do a lot of things together off the court. The girls come to my house. We've grilled out. We've had Christmas parties. We just try to make it a family atmosphere and building a culture.
Yeah.
I think that's where you got to be successful, and especially in high school sports. To me, if you don't have a good culture, then you're not going to be successful.
Culture is everything in almost any type of
almost
organization, from being, leading a church, culture, organizations, profitable organizations, business, teams, culture.
Yep.
I hear that all the time. Now, you mentioned something about being around, a lot of those big-name guys from Limestone County through the years that a lot of our listeners probably know very well. When I was just kind of doing a little research, getting ready for the day, there was a couple names that popped up when you hit the list of Elkmont girls basketball. I went and looked at the years. There were 35 years at Elkmont, and that last 35 years of that was just here a few years ago. There were 2 coaches. For 35 years of Elkmont girls basketball, there were 2 coaches.
Would that be Lester Smith and Steve Bates?
Lester Smith was about 15 years of that, and 20 of that was Steve Bates. And
so Steve's granddaughter plays for us on our JV team, and she does a little bit of varsity too. She's back and forth plays on both. Mm-hmm. And he comes around a lot.
Yeah.
And actually, I had him come and speak to our team.
Yeah, great.
Last spring, and he did such a great job. And he comes in and he'll tell me, I'm not getting in your way. I'm getting out of your way. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Coach, you're invited to be here at all times.
Yeah. If you want to come do this for free, you're more than welcome to.
So last year we had we started a thing called Early Birds, and we would bring in our girls. I would just show up at, I think it was at 6 or 6:30 in the morning, and they come in and shoot before school. And we would, some nights, some days we did on Tuesday and Thursday. Some days we'd have 6, some days we'd have 12.
Yeah.
And but he would come back, he'd drop Kate off, and he'd drink coffee with me. Then he'd say, "I'm gonna get out of your way," like you're not in my way.
Yeah.
I love Steve Bates. Yeah. He's a good one.
I think Steve was about probably 6 years, if not more, older than me when I was at Elkmont.
He's a couple years older than me, so.
One year, I think I shared this last week too, when Coach Wells was here. I think one year, Coach Bates and Jeff Davis coached my Saturday morning basketball team one year, and that was a lot of fun.
That was actually my first coaching job. My 11th grade and 12th grade year in high school, I coached one of those little Saturday league teams.
Well, I think that was what they were doing.
Back then, we just played at East Limestone. We didn't go. We had maybe 5 teams.
Yeah. Well, I think they were juniors or seniors, and I was probably 5th, 6th grade, 4th grade, something like that.
Yep.
And then Lester Smith. Lester Smith was my high school baseball coach, and he was coaching girls basketball at the same time. And I even think about that now. Like, I don't know if one other head coach is doing any of those things now, where you're a head coach of like girls basketball and also the head baseball coach.
There's not a lot of coaches, even in the history of Limestone County, probably, that's been a head coach in more sports than those 2 guys.
Yeah, as long as they did,
because they've done boys and girls back and forth. So
Coach Smith, he was our baseball coach, very successful. We went to playoffs. I think my senior year, and his wife was our home ec teacher, and so they're very heavily vested in the Elkmont community there years ago. But that went back. I think Coach Smith would have started up there in the 80s sometime, and then he was there for about 15 years, and then went straight into Coach Bates, and he was there for another 15 or no, what'd I say? 20.
He just retired 2 or 3 years ago.
He was there 20. Coach Smith was there 15. So 35 years of Elkmont basketball was those 2 guys. And then I think there was about 3 years, and then you're the next guy. So are you gonna be in it for another 15?
I don't know if I'll be there at 15.
Well, you would be, close to 70. So can you coach high school ball into your 70s? They're talking about Nick Saban coming out of retirement as the rumors.
I heard that. I know I'll be there at least 4 or 5 more years.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Having fun.
In fact, I gave Mr. Adderhope my word I'd do at least 5.
Yeah, having fun.
Unless he wanted to run me off. But.
Yeah. Well, what are you teaching?
So I teach government economics has been the main thing that I've taught this has been my 8th year at Elkmont, and teach seniors, and then I've taught a little bit of the other histories, and then a little bit of PE.
Yep. PE, that's that fun class, right?
Oh, yeah. I have a master's in PE, so.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Got a couple quick hitters here.
All right.
A few of them are very similar to last week. I mixed in a couple of new ones, so I'm just going to shoot you a and/or question or a short answer, and you just shoot. You ready?
Fire away.
LeBron or Jordan?
Not even close.
I'm assuming you're going with the guy that's standing right behind you.
Exactly. I was going to say, I heard you do the question last week.
Okay.
I kind of thought about just walking in and going Magic.
Yes, Magic was great.
I was a big Magic fan.
I was too.
Jordan definitely.
Like me and you were pretty close in age. Yep. Magic, Bird, Jordan. Man, there's you can just keep throwing names out there, but I do think it's generational too. Like my kids, my 11th grade son in particular, we argue about this all.
I argue with my kids at school
all the time. I'm like, did you watch Jordan play live?
Right.
No.
Yeah, that's.
I've watched them both.
I didn't get to see him ever play in person. But
I had not live in person, but I watched them on TV.
Oh yeah.
I've seen them both in their prime, and again, like I said last week, I'd go 1A and 1B.
Well, I think y'all talked about with Coach Wells. It's like he wanted the ball. LeBron will get away from the ball sometimes.
Yes, he's that dude. He's a dog.
That's right.
And LeBron's a dog.
That's right.
But I've seen LeBron pass that shot a few times, and I've thought, 23, he wouldn't have passed it. And everybody knew it, and they couldn't stop it. They knew he was going to keep it. They knew he was going to shoot it, and wasn't nothing you could do about it.
Yep.
Branding stuff. I know there's been some talk. Sam Brooks. Do you guys do business with BSN?
I love Sam Brooks.
Sam Brooks is a church member here, and he's got North Alabama on lockdown. Like this shirt I've got on is a Sam Brooks special. It's got our Lindsay Lane. Yeah, it's got our Lindsay Lane brand on one side, Jordan on the other side. For years, probably like the last decade, Nike and Jordan was not available in our area because he was doing some other things. Now BSN has picked it up, and so now schools have options to do some other things outside of the normal Adidas, Under Armour, Russell, things of that nature. I love Russell brand stuff, by the way. Same question last week, Jordan or Under Armour?
Oh, did you like Jordan or Under Armour? Neither.
Okay. Nike is pretty much
Jordan.
Yes.
Not Under Armour.
Now, I think I seen
our new uniforms arrived last week.
That's what I was going to bring up. I think I seen you guys posted something. Now, have y'all made some type of agreement?
No, just me and Sam. I said I'm going to buy Nike. He said, okay, let's do it.
Nice. Well, I know schools will sign deals and get extra kickbacks and stuff. So not interested in the Jordan brand?
So I just personally, I guess it's that Alabama script A, with the Nike symbol beside it probably helped more than anything. But when I went to look at uniforms, I looked at the Jordan option, and the girls' options are not as many as the boys' options in the catalog. Yep. And I like the Nike options better, so I got Nike.
I do know from talking to Sam, he said basketball is the only sport that can wear the Jordan brand. If you kind of make some kind of deal with them, every other sport has to be Nike, baseball, football, softball, all that stuff. But Jordan will let all basketball, girls and boys, wear their brand. Good conversation. Manning or Brady?
Oh, GOAT. Brady.
Going with Brady. I would probably go with Brady, too.
I mean, I did graduate at the University of Alabama, so I'm not picking Manning for anything.
Well, when he was leading the band in the corner of Legion Field down there, kind of burnt me on Peyton Manning.
Me too.
I respect his game, great quarterback, but anytime that conversation comes up, I'm going Brady every time.
Me too.
When was the last time you've been at a game at Legion Field?
When was the last one played there? That would have been Stalin's last game, or would have been the next year when Dubose took over?
I can't remember.
I was there. I'm sure.
Nice.
Yep.
I was at the 92 SEC, first ever SEC championship game with Stalin's. Now, obviously, I was up under the upper deck.
Well, I was too. That was the year after I graduated because that was the championship season.
Yes, sir.
So, funny story going back to my days at Alabama. Until like my last 2 years there, I traveled with the team when I was wherever they were. But before that, you didn't necessarily travel with the team. We spent many a nights in that locker room. Like, that was where we'd stay on Friday night. Like, we'd just spend a night. And we did it on the road some.
Just the managers?
managers and trainers.
Okay.
We would spend the night in the locker room. I remember spending the night on Friday night, and they had that was it Alabama State and Alabama A&M game going on at the same time one night.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
And y'all were just hanging out.
We'd spend the night there. We'd just make us a cot or whatever.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was neat. It was a neat time.
Yeah. I know.
Got my car towed at Auburn doing the same thing.
Well, that figures. Yeah, I mean, that shows you what kind of godly people they are. My son, Ardmore made the playoffs in football last year. Yep. First round game, we draw Ramsey at Legion Field, which was a very cool experience. Obviously, Legion Field's not the same Legion Field that we're just discussing in the late 80s and early 90s, but, man, it was so awesome. The same dressing rooms that you, I guess, have slept in now.
Yeah.
And I'm walking in there because I'm, doing all kinds of social media for my son. We go down with the team and on the field pregame, and I'm like, man, Curry and Copeland, Bo Jackson, Langham, Teague, and just on and on. All of these guys was in these locker rooms. I come back in, and somebody said, I bet Barry Bryant was hanging out. And I was like,
right there.
That was this locker room.
Yep.
And I was like, man, that's pretty sweet stuff for old timers like us. Now, all of my son, their players, they didn't know who we were talking about.
Right.
They didn't have a clue. And I was like, guys, it's pretty big.
Oh yeah.
Pretty big. Moving on. Favorite NBA team of all time?
Well, I haven't really watched the NBA a lot in the last several years, actually. Yeah. I'm a college guy. I love college basketball, but my all-time favorite team was probably the Magic and Kareem and James Worthy.
Yep.
My dad was a huge Celtics fan.
So obviously you had to pick their arch nemesis.
That's right.
And so that Celtics would have been Bird and Parrish and McHale.
Yep. So I was a Lakers guy.
Yeah. A lot of us was back in those days. Okay. Favorite NBA player of all time was Jordan. Player? You said Magic already.
Probably Magic. Yeah, probably Magic.
Shot clock or no in high school?
I'm ready for it.
Really? Looking forward to it?
It's not going off on the Red Devils.
Yeah.
We're going to shoot it.
Yeah. You like it, huh?
Yeah.
Don't think it's going to change.
I don't really see it change. I actually sit down and just got a stopwatch out and watch some of our games last year. I was like, I couldn't find any time that the shot clock would have went off.
Yeah.
Coach Wells, it's kind of one of my quotes too. He mentioned last week about shoot it before you turn it over.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So
I know I was looking through some Max Prep stuff. I know Max Prep stats sometimes are on, sometimes are not. Just hit or miss. And at the bottom, they had a highlight video of one of y'all's games, and it was just showing a highlight. But every time it was y'all coming down the court and kind of dribble, drive, kick it out, shoot, dribble, drive, kick it out, shoot. But it was a highlight, so y'all were hitting every one of those threes.
I'm going to tell you something that Coach Drake told me back in probably about 2005. We had some kids that could run. But we didn't shoot it very well. Mm-hmm. And he came to practice one day and he said, hey, you need to shoot it a lot if you're not going to make a lot of them, because the more you shoot, you're going to get a few more in. And I said, well, that's a pretty good idea. There was one game last year, I look back, we shot it 70 times one time last year.
70 times. Do you know what your shooting percentage was?
Probably about 25 or 24, but we shot it a bunch. We'd like to push it. We'd like to get out and go.
Yeah. Well, that highlight video, y'all were getting after pretty good, and shot clock wouldn't have mattered. Maybe 8-10 seconds, and
that's one point I do want to bring up for the tens of tens that are listening.
Yeah.
We are in the best time ever, in my opinion, for girls basketball. Mm-hmm. With the Caitlin Clarks, Paige Beckers, and the WNBA, the popularity that it's become. But I want people in Limestone County to know that we have good girls basketball in Limestone County.
Yeah.
Ardmore's going to have a really good team. East Lime's going to have a really good team.
Yeah.
West and Clements, they're going to be good. Tanner's getting there.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job. This is a good time for girls basketball in Limestone County.
Yeah, that's one of the things that, going back to what me and you were talking about earlier, back in the day when everybody was playing everybody in all the sports, mm-hmm. because you could be competitive, there wasn't much difference in size, classifications. Yeah. And even having said that now that there is a lot of difference in classifications, we've got, 2A schools in our county. We've also got a couple 5A schools in our county. But basketball is one of those sports that it doesn't matter.
If you get the right 5.
That's right. That's right. You can stay pretty competitive, and we'll go to that the county tournament. Varsity County Tournament in Limestone County is one of the biggest basketball tournaments in North Alabama.
I agree.
I mean, that's you can put it up there with what's the one over in Huntsville.
Times Classic.
Yes.
Yep.
That's a big. Obviously that's probably one of the biggest ones in North Alabama. But that county tournament been going on as long as I can remember.
It's a social event.
Yeah, well,
people go just to be going.
One of the fondest things I remember about my high school days, obviously I'm vertically challenged, so I didn't play much basketball after about 9th grade, but we had this kid who was 2 or 3 years older than me, Michael Crutcher. I don't know if you remember Michael Crutcher, and our county tournament that year was at East Limestone. He came down the court. I don't even remember who they were playing, and he got a fast break, and there was a kid in the paint just trying to post up, and he jumped over to him, looked like Michael Jordan, and dunked, and the whole gym exploded. And for whatever reason, that has been etched in my memory forever about not many things that I remember about high school basketball in Limestone County, but one of those is from the county tournament.
Garth Garris is who I coached with at East Limestone. He was our head coach, and then eventually became a head coach at Elkmont as well, and a principal. He has a little YouTube channel, and there are some early 80 East Limestone Tanner games.
Basketball?
I'm talking 82, 83, in the old gym that don't even exist anymore. You should go watch some of those.
That's awesome.
Cheerleaders are standing on the floor because that's the only place they had.
Yeah.
But it's pretty neat to go back and watch some of those old games.
Yeah, and most of these were happening in smaller gyms.
Oh, yeah.
I think East at that time was the only one that had the upper deck gym, and so obviously, and it would have been packed. Oh, yeah. But can you think about now doing that in the smaller gyms that we used to have. Where there was no upper deck, it was just 2 sides.
Stage. And, I remember in the early 80s, when East Limestone, we were going to the state tournament. I mean, everybody knew that. Yeah. Every year in those early 80s. And I can remember 7th grade, 8th grade as a manager for the team, and the stage, you had a stage at the end of the game, just completely just standing room only. Mm-hmm. I remember there was one year, it was probably 83 or 84, we played Holy Family, and we had to move the game to Athens. And I think we ended up, 2 or 3 games, we had to move to Athens just to have enough room. Yeah, that's awesome. Because it was big, Yeah. But we have some days like that now. That's right. We still have some good gyms. That's right. Good basketball in Limestone County. Last quick hitter question: favorite play call of all time as a coach? Favorite call, basketball, fishing, bowling, middle school, rec ball, anything that you've ever called that is ingrained in your memory, and you're like, man, that was so much fun. Well, I don't know that it could be. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm going to think about it just for a second. When I was coaching junior high basketball at East Limestone, we had a press breaker play that we called Bear. Mm-hmm. And it was really like a little backdoor cut, something that we completely did different from the rest of the game in our press breaker. And we won a game on the last-second shot. We also lost one on the last-second shot using the same play. But we won a game, and I want to say it was Tanner. Maybe I can't remember who was playing, but I just remember drawing it up. We had practiced it, we practiced that stuff, and it just that one time it worked. Yeah, I had one more. So the first 2 years that I was at Elkmont, I was coaching JV. We were playing West Limestone and called timeout with about 3 seconds to go, and I drawed up this play that I've had this play in my brain where we were going to screen the guy throwing the ball in, and the guy throwing the ball in was going to break to the basket for a layup. Mm. So I had a kid named Kobe Murphy. He was throwing it in, and Kobe was excited because we run it in practice. He knew he was going to be wide open for a layup. We had another young man, Matthew Lowry, on our team, and we lost Matthew a few years ago. So this one, we're supposed to throw it into Matthews. Matthews going to throw it to Kobe for a layup. Well, Matthew decided to shoot it anyway.
Yeah.
Nothing but net. I just said, that's the way I planned it.
Yeah. I drew it up.
I drew that up.
Yep.
You know, but that was a great memory.
It was great.
It's even better now. You know, we lost Matthew last few years ago, and this makes it even better now to remember what
everybody
he did.
loved it except Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe still complains about it.
Yeah.
I see him, he's still complaining.
He didn't pass it to me. Well, that's good memories, Coach. Just a couple of other things before we check out here. I know you said you're headed back up to Elkmont. Going back and watch.
I'm
going to
go back and watch our volleyball. They have a play date today. Then I got a few girls going to come in and get some shots up.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
Good. Anybody listening, got any new coaches in our area? They may have been Limestone County a long time, coaching a long time, but doing some new things. Like to get on the show, reach out to us, shoot us a DM. Like to interview those at any school, high school, college, or what level. If you're in Limestone County and like to sit down and chit-chat and promote your program,
that's right,
man. That's what we're here for and trying to do. And one more thing, Lindsay Lane Baptist Church is hosting a night of encouragement for coaches. We call that the Night of Champions. That's coming up on August the 1st. It's a free event, free dinner for coaches and their spouses. I think it's being catered by JW Steakhouse down in Priceville. Got a pretty good steak and chicken dinner free of charge. Got free child care, and we won't keep you here but maybe about an hour and a half, and that's coming up on August the 1st. That is open to any school coaches, ADs, athletic directors, college, doesn't matter. In our area, like to be a part of that, even outside of Limestone County. We'd love for you to be a part of that. If you want some more information about that, you can shoot us a DM on any of our channels as well. We can get you some information. Coach, appreciate you coming by and sitting in. What are you going to be doing like in the fall? You know, fall is obviously big time football. Girls will be playing volleyball. I guess you're just going to be watching a little volleyball or hanging out on the Friday night lights on Friday nights.
My wife and I, we go to as many volleyball and softball games as we can to watch our girls. And I work at all of our home football games. I'm one that gets to escort the referees from their locker room down to the field and escort them back.
Well, I was going to say it goes a lot better on the way on the field than it does when you're heading out.
Coach Anderson, our boys coach, and I do that. And he's always threatening them with taking their hot dogs away from them.
Yeah.
We have a good time with those referees, though. Yeah. We have a good time with them.
Well, good. Well, Coach, we appreciate what you're doing. Appreciate what you've been doing in Limestone County for a long time, brother. And best of luck to the ladies up there. If you need anything at all, let us know. We'd love to help you out and connect with you and pour into you girls in your program. Thanks for joining in, Coach. Anything else you want to share?
No, just looking forward to August 1st. Yeah,
me too. Appreciate it. Y'all, thank you for listening to Limestone County Sports. Have a fantastic week. God bless.